Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a high-level best of 3 of StarCraft 2. Today we have in the top left spawning as our blue Zerg player, playing for Team Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo. And in the bottom right as our red TERRAN, recently picked up by Navi, it is of course Spirit. Reaper's gonna make its way across the map, which is interesting. Wait, it's double Reaper? This actually is interesting. Just having one Reaper wasn't that interesting. A 2 Reaper opener, it's kind of rare, to be honest. Was this a gas first? It might have been. It feels gas firsty to me at least. But maybe it ain't. I'm not so good at seeing whether something is gas first once the timing for the first factory has passed. But it feels like this was a very early gas. Triple CC? Second gas? Reactor. Right? What did Lambo? Lambo didn't go in with the Overlord. So, is there a world in which Lambo sees the second Reaper and thinks to himself, hey, this is a double barracks opener? No, I don't think there is. Because there would have been a much quicker second Reaper already. This would be the timing of the third Reaper. So either this would be the worst 2-Rex Reaper in the world, or, more likely, it's not a 2-Rex Reaper opener. 10 more links are in production as these first 4 links are going to make their way across the map and will get an SCV for their troubles. At the same time, though, the Reapers do jump in towards the main base and force a full pull here on all of these drones. Evo Chamber is going to block the path a little bit. Metabolic Boost finishing up in 2 seconds, but not quite going to catch these Reapers. As Lambo here, moving around now with the links, is gonna get them. Is gonna get them. What is he going to lose, though? That is the question. The question isn't whether these Reapers will die. The question is, what will they take with them to the grave? Well, maybe the secrets on how not to kill anything. I don't think Spirit's going to be too bothered about digging those secrets up. First 2 cars are out. A little bit of a supply block here for Lambo as well. So a Liberator gets constructed. He's an interesting build out of Spirit. It's not something we often see, and this is something that Spirit does rather frequently. He'll open up with a build order that isn't entirely standard. He's an AI man, you know? He sits there in the lobby, in the game versus the easy AI, and he crafts his build orders. And he theorizes, hey, if I do X, they should do Y. If I get 2 Reapers, then this should happen, man. I'm not sure if losing the 2 Reapers there was also exactly what happened against the easy AI, but this feels like a well-prepared easy AI build. 6 cars, single lip. Going for reactor, then tech lab on the factory instantly. I like this. This is a very solid setup, and this is very Spirit-esque as well. We don't actually have a lot of harass. It's going to be difficult as well to harass before you complete the wall, because then, well, you're just going to get run by the entire time. So double E-base do go down. We have a second and a third, or sorry, a third and a fourth gas going down. As the 4th base gets constructed here for Lambo. There's a lot of creep spread towards the middle, a little bit of creep spread towards the top, and almost none towards that 4th base area right now. Spirit's trying to move in. Evo Chamber gets constructed. Spore plus Queen in position equals this Liberator taking a lot of damage, and that's not being capable of harassing very well whatsoever. Overlord here did a good job at spotting everything too. Lair about to finish up as the Baneling Nest is a little bit later than we perhaps usually see. Double Evos going down to 7 Overlords at a time here for Lambo. Sloppy. That's not good macro. He's gonna double his Overlord count here practically. More than double. He was on... what was that? Do I know how to do math? No, it's not more than double. He was on 8 Overlords. He built 7. Went to 15. Almost doubled his Overlord count there. That's not very optimal play, usually. Because that larva could have turned into a drone, for example. The money that you invest in the Overlord could have been a faster 5th base. You know, you usually want to stay as low as possible in your supply capacity. Of course, you don't want to be supply block, otherwise you'll be forced into building 3 depots at a time, or 4 at a time, like what Spirit is doing right here. That's also painful, because then it means you can't produce any workers. It's kind of supply block right now. At least one of these CCs. And the moment you can't produce workers, it basically just means that you're losing money. Means that that worker isn't mining for you. For those 15 seconds it was supply locked. I think an SCV, or just any worker, really gets about 1 mineral per second. So if you're supply blocked for 18 seconds on 3 CCs, that is 60 minerals that you just lost. And of course it could also have implications if you're being attacked and your units are stuck inside. That would suck. It really would. Armory is on the way, as Spirit so far is doing what he does best, and that's not very much. Just kind of sitting back. And I'm not trying to say that Spirit doesn't do a lot of things very well, just saying that Spirit is very good at doing nothing. He likes sitting there, pushing out with big pushes. He's not like Slam. Cutting control is fairly mediocre. So he has his setup here. It looks kind of weak, as we have the Lip heading back in towards the main, or well, already back in. This is the first time it's going in towards the main. Takes a detour towards the third base. This is the fourth. And there we go. Lambo's gonna lose 2 drones. Doesn't have a spore available here. Queen from the main base, as well as from the net, are going to move in towards the third area. Oh, here we go. Lambo with a pretty decent fight here. Fought without the 1-1 upgrade against 1-1 on Spirit's side, but still managed to easily clean this push. Get almost all of his creep alive. Has a lot of creeps right here. 8 minutes into the game. This is phenomenal mechanical play coming out of him so far. If we don't count the supply, the oversupply he was utilizing earlier. And even now, 155 out of 200. 83 drones though. 2-2 hasn't started yet, but a Hive has. Okay. It's rare to see the Hive start before 2-2. Usually you want to start 2-2 and then the Hive. Lambo here switches it up. As 2-3 mines will get taken out. All 4 mines get taken out. Spirit here. He's not really getting done what he wants to get done. Unless getting rid of mines was his goal. That'd be a terrible objective to have. But if that was his objective, then boy did he succeed. Oh boy did he succeed. CC flying over. I think it was in the main base that it got produced. That's rare. Usually you see it kind of in between the third and the fourth base. The third, the natural, and the fourth. Kind of in the middle of the triangle. 2 pushes happening here at the same time, as mine production seems to take priority over tanks right now. I guess we just have 1 reactor with a factory and 1 with a tech lab. So we have single tank production, double mine production. Mines produce a little bit quicker, of course. 92 drones are out as well. It feels to me like Lambo is just kind of getting ready here for some type of big Hive play, but Dan is connecting as well. I think Vipers would be really nice to have in here. You see Adrenal Glands start. You know what I also wouldn't mind? A Lurker Den. I think Lurker Dens are cool. Especially if you manage to get into a Hive this quickly. And without any damage, really. Like, Lambo had the quickest tech path of anyone I know. He just straight up went to the Hive. Now he's sitting there. Of course, for Spirit, this is not an issue. Spirit is also a late game player. You already see those 3 extra barracks being added in, but it makes you wonder what would happen if lurkers were out on the map right now, which technically could have been possible. If the lurker then had started while Hive was being produced. If seismic spines started the moment Hive finished. Like, we could perhaps have seen a lurker push. We're gonna need more gases for that. What is there really to deal with that? Well, not a whole lot, let me tell you that much. There's no liberators. There's 4 tanks total, but they're gonna be split across 2 bases. 2-3 positions. Spirit does manage to kind of retain map control here by sending armies out on the map. The entire, I mean, look at this defensive marine force. The creep is reaching so far though. This is actually kind of rough. This is indeed kind of rough here if you're Spirit. And how many creatures has he killed so far? Is that none? Nah, that seems unlikely, right? Where do you see buildings lost? I don't know how it works. That's not it either. Because I think creep tumors count as buildings, not as... Oh, I don't know the hotkeys for that. My apologies. As Lambo now moves in. Planetary is gonna get knocked down. But it gets up again. 12 SCVs go down. It's an okay fight here for the Zerg. Really, any fight you're taking right now as a Zerg is probably going to be fine. There's a huge bank. We have plenty of larva behind this, I assume. It's only 7-8. Mediocre. Really quite mediocre. I thought there was going to be more. Injects are going off. So, should increase that larva count momentarily. Spirit here believes that he has a timing, or at least that he can clear a couple of creep tumors. Do they show up? No, they don't. Okay, at least some creep tumors have gone down. That's all we'll know for now. Parasitic Bomb is huge as these medevacs are not being split. What in the world is happening here? Forgot that he had to control his use. Look at that! All of these medevacs in the orange at once. Couple in the red as well. One more Parasitic Bomb like this, and they're just going to explode in the sky. There are 9 available right now. SCVs need to come in to repair this crap. This could be a serious issue here. As 1, 2 medevacs will fall. Look at that. 3 medevacs going down instantly. There's no energy for another Parasitic Bomb though. That's kind of silly. As the Banelings do run out of steam. As in there are no Banelings remaining right now. And Spirit here is going to push in forward. It's going to pick off 1 base at least. Might be capable of taking out more. Bunch of Banes here are being morphed. Is Spirit going to continue pushing in? Or will he say, hey, I'm going to just take out some of this creep. I'm afraid of Banelings already being done. Feels like that if Spirit would have legit committed here. Committed. I think he might have been capable of getting the W. Just straight up running in. It was going to be Marines versus Lings. Like, that's not a fair fight. And then there were a couple of Hydras and Morphing Banes. Like, Morphing Banes don't actually deal damage. The Morphing Bane can't hurt you, Mr. Marine. What is this? Some creep. That's what that is. Good creep spread on the bottom side. Alright, decent. It's like a single lane. Like a single road with 3 lanes, I guess. Not quite connected yet with this part. Once that connects, it will feel very good, I tell you. It'll feel phenomenal. Is there even a tank here? No, there's not. Bunker blinding? I don't think that's quite worth it. It's like, what? 4 Marines in there shooting. Probably better to blinding cloud the turret on them. Okay, that's also not really true, but you catch my drift. This base is being taken out. Now Spirit here goes for an interesting play. He says, hey, you can have that base, or at least I'm going to evacuate it. I'm going to counterattack here. And I'm going to deal some damage. And he takes out a base. Apparently there's a little pause over here. Neither player wanting to unpause. Lots of drones are going down. As Lambo here committing to the base trade. He's going to try and get in towards the main base. Lost 2 bases, lost 3 bases against the jewel drops. Lambo is going to deal with the force at home and at the same time is just in the main base of his opponent. Big bank as well available behind all of this. This is going to get cleaned up. We have a hatchery available here. We have a new one in production down there. We have a new one in production up here. So really, this is very playable for Lambo. And the question is this very playable for Spirit? Spirit is going to clean up the forces in his main base. That is a big deal. If you don't clean those up, you're dead. Ah, there's so many freaking Ling Bane. Look at that. That's a huge army. Lambo does have to be a little bit careful. Gotta be a little careful. Doesn't want to get like surrounded in here if he goes too deep. Then lose his entire army. I don't actually know what his larva count is. Only 6. There's 4 more hatcheries on the way. That's going to help him in the larva production. Doesn't have any macro hatches in the main. Sometimes we see Lambo build a macro hatch kind of in between bases for quick reinforcement. Always thought that was a pretty cute move. It's not what he went for this time though. Topside base is definitely in trouble. That one is toast. That one is toast. Right? The moment Spirit focuses his attention on that, it's gone. Absolutely. Lambo's still struggling and spending his cash. Hardly has any larva. Needs to start injecting again. Yeah, it's gonna throw a couple in there. Look at that. 1 hatchery, 7 injects. $18 more links. Yeah, larva count is ticking up. Slowly but surely. It's just not so... Yeah, it's not fast enough. Lambo had a serious advantage. I'm not sure how big that advantage still is. Banelings here being shot down by the Marines. This is not necessarily a great army. But neither is Lambo's. He's now trying to rebuild these Vipers. I think he's lost all of them. He has 0 available currently. As a Ling run by is being sent out towards his 3rd base, which is completely undefended. It's going to probably kill 10, 12, 13 workers here. Even if Spirit is quick, which he is, by the way, there's a fast response. He's just kind of like adrenal glands linked. They don't mess about. Perhaps try and target down this CC as well. See how quick Spirit is. At the same time, there's an engagement over here. Spirit can only pay attention at one area at the same time. Doesn't lift the CC, runs back his Marines. Those are some solid responses. That was a cute move, though, by Lambo, saying, hey, I'm going to right-click this CC, then at the same time attack your Marine force. I think he might have gotten 1 or 2 Bane hits there on a couple of these Marines, but not all of them. Not all of them whatsoever. 60 Marauders are out. 17 Marauders are out. 6 Ghosts. 5 Medevacs. Medevac count. Look at this. These guys have no energy right now. A couple of these units still in the yellow. Legit 0 energy on these Medevacs. Gonna need more Medevacs. But he also wants to get advanced ballistics right now. Oh no. There's no reactor on this. I'd almost say just swap it with a reactor on the barracks. Like, it's not so important to produce Marines 2 at a time. The Medevac, that's a game changer. Here come the links though. No lift on this depot as the adrenal glands boys are running in towards the main base. And the cracklings start going ham like only cracklings can. Does need to be careful that if he doesn't deal enough damage here and he loses all of those links, that could actually be quite bad. We now have an attack from the back here. Parasitic Bomb connects with one of these Medevacs. Will take one out. That means there's only 4 remaining, none of which have any serious energy. A new one does pop, with at least a little bit of energy, of course. Burrow wasn't quite done yet, which is frustrating. Otherwise, you could have maybe forced out a couple of scans with these links, which would have been pretty nice, honestly. At the same time, here comes Lambo moving in, but we also have a flank here. Spirit. Woo! Lambo hesitating there for a second. Wanted to go for it, and or maybe just like a miscommand. Trying to get his units maybe back towards this base, and his units took the bottom path rather than the top path. 77 workers to 54. Factories being pooped on here, contaminated by the Overseer. 2 Infestors. 1 Neural Parasite. Now we get the Seismic Spines. It's a Ghost Scout. 4. I think I prefer Infestors over Lurkers here, to be honest. I think Infestors are really powerful in this particular situation. Because it's not like you're going to get 12 Lurkers, right? You're going to get 4 Lurkers. Or you can get 3 or 4 Infestors. Going for the Infestors, I think it's a good call. If you just get, what, like a single... Oh, big minus. If you just get a single fungal, that would be huge here. Here we go. Gonna pop up. Gonna pop up. There we go. Poof! Does get the connection. Banelings don't quite reach now. There we go. And that one fungal, definitely a bit of a game changer. Maybe even without it would have been fine. Lings hitting the natural at the same time. This CC explodes. And Spirit in a world of trouble right now. Absolutely in a world of trouble. Some people might even say that currently Spirit is dead. He's down 60 supply. His base most likely is gonna fall. Target fire on the SCVs here by those Hydras. Saying, hey, the Lings will take care of the planetary. My Hydras will take care of your SCVs. Kind of a cool move. Nice micro. One more base up here. Spirit decides to stay in. Has managed to deal a little bit of damage here on the bottom side. If you can take out another 2 bases and keep this planetary alive, I'd almost say that he has a chance. Almost. There's one more fungal available here. It's going to connect. EMP just a second too late. Ling Hydra good enough with the help of the Infestor. And that, my dear friends, I mean, by any means should be it, right? I don't really quite understand what Spirit's still doing in here. As an army supply of 41 against an army supply of 72. It's being outmined. Lambo is doubling his opponent's mineral income. We now have 5 Lurkers on the way, and with only 2 Ghosts available and 22 Marines, this might be a serious issue. It might just be. I could also be wrong about that, but I don't think I am. Just don't really think I am. Couple of Lings still burrowed here in the net as well. Could pop up at any time. There's Infestor here. There's an Infestor here. There's an Infestor here. This one doesn't have energy. Not yet. Maybe soon, though. There are just not enough scans available here to go around for Spirit. Spirit doesn't really have the ability to defend this base. And there we go. 4 Lurkers, 5 Lurkers show up. And scans will need to be used to deal with this. Then you can just move the Lurker away. And as mentioned before, there's simply not that many scans. It's either going to be scanning for infestors, or you're going to be scanning for these lurkers. And no matter what you scan for, you're probably just going to die anyway. So scanning is useless. Here comes the infestor from the back. It's going to pop up over here. Ooh, popped up a little bit too early, perhaps. But it doesn't matter. Spirit here is coping very hard. GG gets called. Lambo takes map number 1. Map 2 is on Golden Aura. So we have Spirit having a straight rally point basically towards the left side of the map. That's just lovely, isn't it? Isn't that up 14? Wow. I didn't know this was proper. I thought you always built the barracks at 15. This is new to me. So this is a 1 worker cut. So in order to build a 14 barracks, you need to build a 13 depot. And for the people that don't know a lot about StarCraft, when I'm saying these numbers, I'm talking about the supply. So the current supply available. Usually the first depot goes down at 14 supply available. Or 14 supply over here, not the capacity, the left side supply thing. But this time it went down at 13 and then the barracks at 14. Which is, usually you get either 15 or 16 barracks. So this is really quite quick. How much faster is it actually? This thing, 10 seconds. So that means this barracks finished at 125. Usually barracks finishes at what, 127 or so? Yeah. 127, 128. So you're 2 seconds quicker. Now, that sounds not great, but 2 seconds in such a quick rush can make a huge difference. Make a huge, huge difference. Does have the orbital as well, but it's cutting worker production. So this is a bigger investment than you usually see, and this Overlord is not in position. It's not being sent to the correct spot either. Is this going to survive? It's going to be super close here, and it is going to make it up onto the high ground. That is a very big deal, because Lambo is not ready to be supply blocked here. He is not. Absolutely no way. More Marines in production as a Roach Warren and a Spine go up. Spine in the main base near the ramp. Second gas as well gets constructed here. Lambo realizes that he can't hold his net. And I always wonder, do you actually want to finish your queen? Queen pops on the bottom side. Yeah, okay, he's going to cancel it. Because I feel like that queen just dies. That queen absolutely just dies. Spine Crawler did get cancelled here. So Lambo's going to keep that money alive for a bit longer as these lings move towards the back of the base, or he tries to. I wonder if Spear is just supposed to chase these lings. I think he is probably, right? You can always kill the hatchery later, but those lings, I think he should have gone for it. I really believe he should have gone for those lings. That would have been a very big play. Now we have 2 roaches on the way already. S2, oh. Okay, it's a Marauder follow-up. So this has been getting a bit more common. Is where, oh, I love this build. I'm going to be playing this build in my next cheesiest man alive, that's for sure. I keep forgetting that this exists. But you have like a freaking 3-Rex follow-up where you just go Concussive Shell, then you get Stim if you get there, and then you get a Combat Shield eventually. And you basically make it a 1 base versus 1 base scenario. Now, and I hear you think, well, Harstem, 1 base versus 1 base, that sounds completely fair. Why would TERRAN want that? Well, let me let you in on a little secret. You might already be capable of seeing it here from the income graphs. The TERRANs, they have the same saturation, but then they can also use a mule on the mineral patches, which means that their mining is actually going to be much better than their opponent. On top of that, if you're playing 1 base versus 1 base, eventually you can actually float your 1 base towards the low ground, and it functions as a 2nd base, despite you only having built a single one. So, oh, and he's hiding this. You massive... Oh, this guy's a prick, isn't he? So I wonder what he's going to do right now. I wonder if he's going to show the Marauders or if he wants to bait an attack across the map. I'm not sure what the play here is. I don't actually know what the play here is. Okay, Bunker's going to be pulled. Oh, he's going to hide in the forest. He's going to hide in the forest. And Lambo. Oh, this is a close one. Look at this. Oh, no. Okay, he's not going to hide in the forest for much longer. Maybe over here? No. Lambo's afraid. He doesn't want to go. He's going to send out a Ling, which is... that's a good move. God, he's such a safe player. He knows all these little things. That's so nice. There's someone apparently lagged out. Okay, he's going to scout the fact that there are tech labs here. but also realizes that this position has been given up. So Lambo now goes in and sees a command center in production. Spirit though, let's just analyze the situation. Okay, what do we think of all of this? Spirit is stacking into Banshee, which means he's going to be absolutely safe against whatever the heck Lambo is about to throw at him. He's following it up with a fusion core, so it's going to go into BC. Lambo hasn't built a single round of drones quite yet. Look how big this army is. It's almost ridiculous, isn't it? Still no drones. So this is a serious all-in. This is as all-in as it gets. The mother of all all-ins. That's what this is. It's gonna be mech. He's not building any extra... No, it's not gonna be mech, but he's not building any add-ons. Wants to get all of his cash here into that battle cruiser, I guess. Stays on the high ground. Spirit understanding that most likely there's an all-in happening here. Sees it with the Banshee, and here comes Lambo. Starts by working on some of these barracks. Okay, the first Ravager under heavy pressure. Really gonna try to hit this Banshee with something at least. There's no stim available. Goes straight away for these depots. Hits the depots and is in. We're inside of the main base of Spirit right now. Not enough links though. This Banshee's getting his third Ravager kill. It is the links that are missing right now. If there are 10 more links in this army, this game is over. And here come the links. Here come those 10 more links, but they might just be a little bit too late. 10 workers have gone down. If there were 10 more links, or even 6 more links with that push, I legitimately believe that 15, 16 extra workers die there. Because there was just nothing to deal with it. This Banshee with 8 kills is huge. Marauder with 4 kills. Marine with 7 kills. These are some serious heroes over here. And now Lambo, you know, he had a good time there in his opponent's base. And he's looking back at that fight thinking to himself, well, was this good? Was this fine? It's like, yeah, I think this was fine. He did not see the fusion core though. He did see the third CC, so maybe it's not as fine. Even in his mind, it might not be fine. And the moment that BC pops out, life is definitely not going to be fine. Because he doesn't have the queen count. That means that taking a third base here is going to be impossible for Lambo. It means that moving drones from the main to the net or moving queens from the main to the net is going to be extremely difficult because there's just going to be a battle cruiser over there. Banshee can stay at home defensively in case there's a follow-up all-in. It's not something that Lambo usually goes for though. And here comes the BC. First queen under some heavy fire. As this queen now under attack. Good control here on that BC. Outside of spore range, yet dealing a lot of damage to the queens. Now it's going to jump into spore range as it will pick up 2 queen kills so far. Goes for the third one. And now these drones. The turn of the drones to start dying. Overlord not being protected here by anything as a queen pops in. Starts throwing darts from a distance. Lots of money here being lost on the side of Lambo as a second BC is on the way. Spire goes down, so it's going to be 2 base Spire play, with a third base practically being impossible to take because he cannot protect it. He cannot protect it at all. Once the second BC pops across the map, I'm pretty sure that this game is just going to straight up end here. Going to be... Does he? He could drop a mule. Yeah, okay, he has dropped a mule. He has dropped a mule for repair, and usually I say, hey, that's real expensive. But here I say, hey, that's brilliant. 100% a good call, because that second BC, that's going to be a game changer, and you know it. Wait, he cancelled it? Why would he cancel the second BC? What? He saw the Spire, but I feel like if he just flew in with 2 BCs 15 seconds ago, you'd have like about 35 to 40 unchecked seconds with 2 BCs. And it's not entirely unchecked, but it's 4 queens. So it's basically unchecked. And it's not like there's no anti-air behind this, you know, for the TERRAN. It's not like you're like, oh, I might die against Mura. It's like, no. You'll lose 1 BC, which can teleport home. The other one can just teleport home. And you already have triple barracks production behind this. This felt really bad for Spirit. Well, the situation is really good for Spirit, but I think the game should have been over, and thus this was a bad interaction. Canceling that second BC last second, that's something I absolutely do not agree with. It appalls me. It really does. Appalling gameplay. Combat shield starting just now, as the first 7 mutas are popping out. The follow-up is going to be glial reconstitution into most likely dying. Because, let's face it, Spirit is still in an extraordinary position here. Absolutely. +1, range attack. Freaking 3 Rex, man. This is a real build. That's a very cool build, the 3 Rex. I give that build 5 stars. I can't wait to play it as well. I'm gonna mark this replay, put it on my desktop. Watch it every day for a week. Then play it a couple of times myself. It always feels a little bit like cheating when you copy a build from these pros that is just so beautifully cheesy, you know? I don't know, it feels nasty in a way. Like I didn't invent it and it's so easy to execute, so I also didn't really practice for it. You're just taking out these Zergs. I love it. There's something great about taking out Zergs that you know are sitting there studying their replays. Not trying to play perfect. Oh no, my creep tumor was 2 seconds delayed. I'll do that better next time. Like little iterative tricks. Now, always working on what they know already. Playing proper macro games. And then you show up with 3 proxy barracks into Marauders. If there's one thing that I wish was the case, is that you were forced to have a camera in your room when you're playing ladder against me. So I can see your reaction when the 5 Marines start hitting your first Overlord and it isn't properly on top of the pillar and you lose 36 MMR. Ah, what I'd give to be a fly on the wall when that happens. As this game, supplies look close, but that's because there are roaches out and roaches suck. Worker counts are even, so it's going to be a 1-1 roach all-in coming out of Lambo. And the funny thing here is that I think that if Spirit were to move across the map and just stim, after hitting 1 or 2 of these mine shots, I believe that Spirit is straight up gonna win the fight. Yeah, he thinks the same thing. He was waiting for these mines to hit. Oh, gets a couple of kills. Lambo moves in his own moves in his own biles. He's going to use all the roaches that he biled just now, turn them into Ravagers. But, I mean, this is just awful. He has so many freaking Marines. What is that? 56 Marines. There's just a single tank, which is not a whole lot. I'll grant you that. I also don't really think it's going to matter. BC still out. Could come and help out. Miras here joining in on the fun as well. Well, it's not quite connecting as the Marines move forward. And oh, Wile's actually hitting quite big there. Spirit with sloppy micro, but well, I'm pretty sure my dog could micro this and still be fine. His army is just huge. Has 2-2 on the way as well, so there's not even any real pressure to clean this up. Mines haven't really continued hitting. I thought they were going to continue hitting, but I guess it hasn't been 40 seconds yet. Or what is it, 25? 27? God, it's absolutely pathetic that I don't know the cooldown time of a mine. I want to say it's 25. I always count to 25. Maybe like 27 though. The 25 seconds might just be like a in-build safety in case I mess up. Fort Command Center's on the way. Once again in the main base. I did that before as well. I didn't like it last game. I do like it this time around. Because there's really no reason to put it in a more vulnerable position than it needs to be. It's the BC is actually right-clicking Ravagers rather than fighting these Miras, which is pretty funny to me. Maybe even the correct call. I wonder if he's going to teleport out here or what the play is. That was close. I thought that these biles might connect, but they didn't. So life is okay. I mean, 2-2 is finishing up in a couple of seconds, and here comes Lambo. He's going to get slaughtered. Into the meat grinder he goes. Spirit takes game number 2. Spirit once again has similar plans here. Sending out only 2 though. It's also, you see, this is later. So this depot is gonna finish at 15 supply. And then you get a 15 barracks, 15 barracks, 15 barracks. Yeah. I dig it. I absolutely do. There's just something special about these proxy builds, isn't there? Like the last game, despite the game lasting for, what was it, like 13, 15 minutes, 16 minutes, 14 minutes, whatever it was. Despite it lasting for that long, the game was, I don't want to say it was over, but after the failed attack out of Lambo, it was over. And that failed attack was triggered by the fact that there was a proxy 3 Rex. So we could say that the proxy 3 Rex won the game there. This time the depot, by the way, is not on the wall, so I'm not quite sure what that means. Maybe he's gonna, you know, commit a little bit harder here to the push. I was gonna send the Overlord out. Oh, please, no, he's too far to the right. Like, this is the type of mistake that's gonna get you as well, you know? Is putting the Overlord 1 pixel too far to the right. And 3 Marines show up, they shoot your Overlord and you're supplyable till the end of time. I freaking love this type of stuff. The worst is I know how frustrating it is to be on the receiving end. The amount of games I've lost because the SCV decides to take the path where it's hidden in between the mineral patches twice in a row. Like pops from the top to the bottom, back to the top. Like, oh my god, it's gonna cost me 35 MMR. Oh no, this thing is in the wrong spot. It's in the wrong spot. Yep, there goes Spirit. He says, "Hey, Mr. Overlord. Cuckoo, Mr. Overlord. Wouldn't you want to be on a pillar right now?" As Lambo's gonna change his response. Last time it was a Rotorn and a Spine. This time it's going to be Lynx and a drone pool. There's a lot of drones here coming down. Still mining a little bit. Probably should just completely pull out of gas. This supply block is not doing him any favors though. He's gonna need another Overlord now. Otherwise he could be producing Lynx already at this point. Because he has the larva available. He's gonna lose a couple of Lynx so he can produce more Lynx. Overlord under fire. Queen should be moving downstairs. Yep, there we go. Here comes the surround attempt. Is he gonna get it? Bunker isn't quite up yet. No Spine was constructed. There is no safe space here. SCV's moving across the map as well as Spirit. He's gonna commit hard, and indeed that depot near the mineral line indicated that GG, good luck, gets called here. The Spirit is going to win this series. 2-1. I didn't even properly put the score in yet. This game started so fast, I forgot about it. Oh no. This is fantastic. Freaking TERRAN players are never allowed to complain about things being too easy. They have had a build for the past 13 years, which more than 50% of the time just instantly wins against a Zerg, and the other 50% of the time just puts them ahead. And they complain about Protoss cheese being too strong. They can reliably execute this build as well, just every single game. What is Zerg gonna do? Oh, this is so sick. It is disgusting. It really is. Spirit takes the win here. I'm gonna be copying these two bad boys. I freaking love it. And that's going to be it for me today. I hope you all enjoyed this cheese-filled series. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Bye-bye.